Welcome to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show tonight. I'm your host, Sally Thibault, and welcome to the relaunch of the program. I haven't done this for a number of months. I needed to find the right time, and I'm hoping Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Is the time that people can jump on and watch. If you are watching this from the group, the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter group, you'll just need to give StreamYard permission so we can find out if you're commenting. I'm going to take questions for this tonight, but if you're in the group, just because of the way Facebook is set up, I won't be able to see who's commenting. I won't be able to know who it is. However, if you're watching from a page, it's no problem at all. And I'm really excited to bring this tonight. I hope to make it probably about 20 to 25 minutes long, and we've got a special guest coming on towards the end of the program to share her experiences. Today, I want to talk mostly about the 3 things that will derail your ability to lose weight, and in particular to lose weight. I'm just going to remember that for a minute. And to lose weight. I use the word permanently, and I use this lightly because what I want to bring across the fact is that as you age, as you get past 50, everything you need to be doing for your body is to be looking at increasing your metabolism all the time. No matter what you're doing, you've got to think about increasing your metabolism, because as we age, that's what we lose. And I'm going to be sharing all the actually 3 things that you shouldn't be doing. Stop those 3 things from doing them, and why. I'm going to share all that tonight. As I said, if you've got questions, I'm going to get to them at the end. Just a little quick explanation of who I am. So I actually started teaching fitness when I was 23 years old, a very long time ago. And as you can see, that was funny. I'm just looking at this present. Zoom this up a little bit. But as you can see here, in 1982, I taught at the time, was the largest indoor aerobic class in Canada with 2,000 people. It was the opening of the Edmonton Convention Centre. We moved back to Australia. I lived in Canada for a number of years, met and married a most gorgeous Canadian, and moved back. Went to work at the time was Pindara Fitness Centre. Of course, that doesn't exist anymore. That was about 1984. And then interestingly enough, remember the days when all our advertising had to be on newspaper, put out the newspaper and hope that it would ring, hope that the phone would ring. But I was just looking at the dates today. There was October the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. Can you believe it? So that would have been about 1993. So that was a very long time ago that we were doing that. So in the meantime, left the fitness industry, as I mentioned in a preamble yesterday, left the fitness industry in 1997 when my son David, our oldest child, was diagnosed with autism. I had to make a decision. One of us needed to come home. And because I was working in the fitness industry, of course, I had split shifts. I used to work 5 o'clock in the morning. I would open up the gym and teach the first 6 o'clock class. And I would often be out of the house in the afternoons if I was doing personal training. And so that wasn't sustainable for a family. So I left that, went and worked then in educational marketing for a period of time. And in my long service leave, wrote the book David's Gift, and that catapulted me into some TV work, The Circle, if you remember that, and of course being interviewed by the lovely Lisa Wilkinson. And I did that for a period of time until I found my way back to fitness and coaching, and also working with in EFT. So as you can see, this is where I'm going to focus tonight. So even though I've been in the fitness since I was 23 years old, by the time I got to 55, the wheels were definitely falling off for me. That was an event. That photo was an event where I was asked to speak about success for women over 50. Now, I've written a book, I've been on TV, I've done a lot of things in my life, but that night I stood on stage talking about being successful over 50 was probably one of the lowest points in my life. I felt like an absolute fraud. I felt anything but. Going right through, slap bang in the middle of menopause. I put on a ton of weight. Nothing fitted me. I felt tired. I felt old and frumpy. I had a cancer scare and I had to undergo some exploratory surgery. Then I was diagnosed with glandular fever, then hyperglycemia. And I remember the naturopath saying to me, you've got to make a decision here because you are on the path to type 2 diabetes. And it was that moment that I decided that I was going to change things. I was going to change the way that I viewed myself, because if I didn't make major changes, my mother had passed away at 55 from cancer, breast cancer. And I thought, if I don't change, if I don't do something, I'm going to go down that same path as well. And of course, 11 years later, this is where I'm at. So everything I'm talking about tonight is exactly what I've done, what I've experienced. And now I think, from somebody who used to be a mad, keen dieter all my life, all that stuff, 11 years ago, I stopped doing all that. And what I'm going to share with you tonight are the things that I learned. And in particular, the 3 things that are really important when it comes to releasing the weight that no longer serves you. And I see happening over and over and over again. That's what I'm talking about tonight. So the first one I'm going to share with you, just let me know if you can hear me, of course, is detoxing. Do you know, I see this come up in my newsfeed. I've been on social media now since, it first started 2009, I guess. And it's funny because you get to meet people and see people all the time posting, the same people. What's really interesting is I see the same people posting every October, every February, and often in July or June about going on a detox. Same people all the time. And the problem with going on a detox is that what you're doing when you do that is you're pushing your body into severe caloric restrictions. And as we age, as I mentioned before, and your metabolism is essential, the one thing that will drive that metabolism down dramatically is extreme caloric restriction. The fact is that our bodies, our lungs, our kidneys, our liver, the gastrointestinal tract, and immune system remove or neutralize toxic substance within hours after we eat them. We have a very refined system for doing that. That's when you learn to trust your body, you'll know when you need to stop drinking alcohol, or you need to cut down the sugar, or whatever it is. You don't need to be going on these 2-week long detoxes. It's just, it just sets you up for failure. As I said, it's interesting because I see the same people doing the same thing year after year after year. And I can tell you, it's nothing to do with your weight. The other thing about detoxing is our body has a wonderful way of doing that, and that's through a process called intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting, when practiced correctly, creates what's called autophagy. Now, autophagy is an evolutionary self-preservation mechanism through which the body can remove dysfunctional cells and recycle parts of them towards cellular repair and cleansing, and it promotes regeneration of healthy cells. What's the difference between caloric restriction and intermittent fasting? You are not cutting calories. You're actually allowing your body time to detox itself by stopping eating for a period of time. You're still going to put the same amount of calories into your body. You're just giving yourself breathing space. Now, when I first started teaching fitness back in the 1980s, we taught 3 meals a day, 2 snacks. That's what we taught. I taught it for years. Must have breakfast because that was that's where your energy came from. And you remember when the kids went to school, you'd never send your children to school without breakfast. I don't like breakfast, never have. My children don't like breakfast, never have. But of course, I've made them eat it, and I did too. That mindset that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. Now, what's really interesting when I look back on that time now, all that did, that's 3 meals a day and 2 snacks. All it does is make you tired. Why? Because digestion requires an enormous amount of energy. And that's why intermittent fasting, when you're timing your caloric intake, and you can do a 12-12 or a 16-8, and many of the Alzheimer's researchers are now saying stretch that out to even 24, like 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating. I can't do that. But 16-8 has been shown to help not only reverse the cell degeneration, but also promote healthy cells and more energy. If you're looking for another way to create autophagy, physical exercise does that. It induces autophagy in organs that are part of the metabolic regulation process. So this includes the muscles, the liver, the pancreas, and the adipose tissues. So the body is already set up to do the detox for you without you going into caloric restriction. Because as I said, that caloric restriction is going to drive down your metabolism. Why? It's the wonderful way our body works. If we don't put enough calories in, what happens is it slows down because it's naturally designed for you. In order for you to function effectively, it will slow down. Not only that, where it slows down is in your muscles. That's where your metabolism exists. And so you begin to lose muscle mass. So reducing caloric intake for a long period of time for a detox, you will end up only putting on more weight. And that's what I'm seeing all the time. Sleep is one of our natural detox solutions. It's the best detox for your brain, liver, and lungs. Lots and lots and lots of research now talking about the importance of sleep, especially when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia, but also just ensuring that you're giving your body a chance to regenerate. Incredibly important. On the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program, we put a big emphasis on sleep. Sleep is incredibly important. And if you're not getting a good night's sleep, and many of us, women over 50, because, we lost sleep when the children were little and then they moved to teenagers and you never sleep, waiting for them to come home. That cycle is really difficult to break. But according to Chinese medicine, sleep, following our circadian rhythm, is essential for a natural detox. Now, this is interesting. The liver is at its peak detox stage between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. So often, if you have put a toxic load on your liver, say having a couple of glasses of wine, maybe some sugar, chocolate, dessert before you went to bed, and you wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning, that's your liver as it's trying to detox this. And you'll notice if you've had a night where you've had more than 1 or 2 glasses of wine, it might put you to sleep, but you will have a very light sleep. You'll be waking up during the night. That's because the liver is trying to detox this from you. And the best way you can detox your liver is drink plenty of water. And the rule we have on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program, 1 glass of wine, 1 glass of water, 1 hour before bed. And when you do that, it naturally gives your liver a chance to detox. So those are the 3 ways that you can actually naturally create the detox that you need. And in my experience, anything outside of that only sets you up for failure later on. And the reason being, number 3, you have to stop dieting. And it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter what they call it. And of course, there's also, I'll go back, 1980, I started in this industry. I've seen everything come through, from Pritikin to Atkins, which is sort of just like keto we're talking about now, almost exactly the same. All it did was give you bad breath, by the way. Then we went to low fat, and then we went to low sugar, and then we went to paleo, and then we went to, now we're in keto. Every decade, there's a brand new way of eating. And can I tell you, after a decade, mark my words, someone will come out and say, sorry, we were wrong. And in fact, a new research study into keto has found that the research for keto was done on men. For women, it can be extremely detrimental to our estrogen levels. It also impacts on our gut microbiome. So you want to be looking at how the food that you're eating, I'm going to get onto that in a minute. But numerous studies have shown that 95% of people who go on a diet will regain that weight within a year, if not more. And if you're somebody who's struggled with their weight, you'll know what I'm talking about. Dieting, as I mentioned before, by severely reducing calories under 1,200, which seems to be the thing. That's a child. Child has 1,200 calories a day. Like, 3-year-old, not a woman who is busy and energetic and needs to stay focused. Never, ever, 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 ever reduce that. We're talking about fasting, which is something totally different, because again, you're not reducing the calories, you're timing them. Two entirely different things. And of course, it sets up unrealistic expectations. It's just stupid. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because the whole key to this, in the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program, we talk about all the time. We talk about trusting your intuition. You're a wise woman. You've raised a baby within your body, most of us, all by itself. You didn't think about it. It just happens. Your body lets you know. Remember when you had cravings when you were pregnant? There's no way that you could stop those cravings. So listening to your body is essentially important, and teaching intuitive eating is a passion of mine. And the last one, stop doing, is denying. I hear a lot of people saying, for instance, that they want to cut down on carbohydrates. The whole food nutrition is essential for your body to be able to operate at optimum capacity. And part of that is carbohydrates in particular. They're essential for energy. So things like cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, sweet potato, essentially important for gut microbiome and antioxidants. Fruits, whole grains, all have a place in a healthy diet. Now, this is really, what's interesting about that is my husband, Jerry, he loves fruit. He can have fruit all day long. I find if I have any more than 2 pieces of fruit a day, it messes with my blood sugar levels. So you just kind of figure out what's right for you. I love a banana in the morning with my protein smoothie. I love an apple in the afternoon. I always love my apples. I think it takes me back to school. Always went to school with an apple. It's because Mother Nature doesn't get it wrong. Manufacturers do. And I did a presentation yesterday on a radio show that I do, and I was talking about there's a place for everything. And I said, especially when bananas seem to be the thing, full of potassium, magnesium, brilliant, and also great for tryptophan. So if you're feeling at night that you can't sleep, a banana and whole wheat toast is brilliant. If you're intermittent fasting, make sure you have it before 7. But there's a place for food. If Mother Nature doesn't get it wrong, bananas are phenomenal. They're so good. In fact, I don't know if you remember, there was a couple that ran around Australia, literally ran around Australia, and they lived on bananas. I mean, they're so good for you. So every time you restrict, you're setting yourself up for failure later on. And the best way to monitor if certain food groups is impacting you is check the inflammation. Check your inflammation. You know, are your hands swollen? Are your eyes swollen? Do you feel bloated? That's the indication that whatever you've been eating is creating inflammation, usually gluten, dairy, sugar, and alcohol. Some whole grains, depending if you have some gut issues. Those are the things that are going to cause inflammation. And so it's like listening to your body. So I'm going to get Jen on in a minute. We're going to talk about, she's been doing the program and being fantastic. But I just want to quickly go through some of the steps to permanent weight loss over 50. Number 1, conscious eating, with intermittent fasting. Brilliant stuff. More protein as you age. So important that you are ramping up your protein levels. Less sugar and seed oils. Don't put seed oils in your body. They call them vegetables. You know, what was sunflower a vegetable? It's not. It's a seed oil. And if you knew how they were made, you'd never put those in your body, and yet they're in everything. More sleep, less stress, and what we're going to talk about now is effective supplementation. So I'm going to bring Jen on. Jen's been on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program with including the supplementation, fabulous supplementation, because I think it's so essential now. Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Jen, you've been doing this Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program with the this wonderful program. I'm just going to add this to the stream, that with it's age lock TR90, and I want you to share your reaction, your results, because you're going to be doing this for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So how has it been for you?
Oh, look, it's been really good for me. Some of the things I've really noticed, especially in the last week, I seem to have, I've got a lot more focus and I've got a lot more vision. So I feel like my mental state has definitely changed. So I get more ideas, and the energy that I've got is just bizarre. Like I really wasn't. I know people talk about that, but until you actually feel it, you actually don't get the whole depth of that energy. So at night time, once I'm done, I'm done. I've done my day's work. I have done dinner. All I want to do is veg out on that lounge in front of Netflix. But what I found, particularly in this last week, was I'm not actually wanting to do that anymore. What I'm really wanting to do is I'm putting on documentaries. I'm still wanting to learn. I'm still drawing in more information at the end of the day. And whew, that's just amazing for me. I've got to say I'm super, super impressed with that.
Jen, I'm just going to go through some of the things that are included in this, the supplements that you've been taking. Excuse me. And as we go through them, you can let me know, because I know we had a discussion yesterday about one of them. The reason this is like a match made in heaven and a game changer is that the age-lock TR90 products and the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program are designed to work synergistically. So number one, balance the mind and body, which you were just talking about just right now. It supports healthy metabolism, maintains lean muscle mass, because the lean muscle mass is where your metabolism is, and supports a healthy appetite. And it's to target 3 important contributors to healthy weight management, which is healthy metabolism, lean muscle mass, and healthy appetite. We just talked about that. So you have a lean body, look younger, and feel younger as well. Beautiful. But we're going to talk about, I want to talk about this because it's like this, to me, is a game changer. I taught this for years. Taught women how to release weight that no longer serves them using intermittent fasting and intuitive eating and strength workouts. But one of the things that I always found when I was beginning teaching this stuff is when people first start on this program, they feel really, for a couple of weeks, they might feel sort of, brain fog because you're changing something. Your body's trying to change, and it's really difficult, and the energy levels are low while you're trying to figure all this out. But I want to just go over some of these supplements you've been taking, and you can let me know how they've made you feel. Now, we talked about this yesterday, Jumpstart. Tell me about what you felt with that.
Actually, I attribute that to this whole focus thing for me. I think the Jumpstart just get your body happening. It's just, I don't know. I think without the Jumpstart, I wouldn't be feeling these effects so far. So you get 15 sachets, and yesterday was my last one. I'm maintaining it. Right.
Yeah.
So it really is a kickstart.
I know, and that's the beautiful thing about it. This you don't have to go on like this is not a appetite suppressant. It's not something that you need to take for the rest of your life. It actually is designed to give you that jump start, help you deal with food cravings, keep your energy level up, keep that clear focus. Now, it's an absolutely brilliant product. The wonderful thing about this is they're all plant-based too, by the way. So they're really, I went through these with a fine-tooth comb. Let me tell you, over the years, I've seen a lot of this stuff. This is not, so in Stronger, Leaner, Lighter, I teach you how to eat intuitively, intermittent fast, and there's the 10 principles of wellness. We cover sleep, we cover tapping, we cover meditation, we cover purpose, all that stuff. When this came along, I was like, holy cow, this is what I've been missing. This is when it was just absolutely brilliant partnership. So it was that one first. And then there's the TR90 Fit. So what this helps do is it helps your body work at a gene expression level.
Yes.
What I love about this is it's going to, because often we carry weight due to genetic, especially when we tend to carry it in our bottoms or our stomachs. What the
Sure.
TR Fit does is help change that. So what I've seen for people is they begin to lose weight from areas where they hold on
Couldn't
to it
lose
most.
it from.
Yeah. Now, whenever I've tried to lose weight in the past, I tend to put it on my hips and thighs first, then my stomach, then my boobs when I'm putting weight on. Guess where I lose it from first if I try and diet? My boobs. My waist, and the last thing to go, which is the thing I want to lose,
is the problem area. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what the TR90 Fit does. Helps change at a gene expression level. The next part of this is the TR90 control, and this again helps you with food cravings, sugar cravings, and just helps with to get you up over that hump. Wonderful product, the TR90 control, because it really does work in conjunction. As I said, these are all plant-based supplements. There's no,
Yes.
there's not chemicals in them. There's nothing that's setting your brain up to desire it later on. You only take these for 90 days. You just take this, and it's going to transform your body.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
The next one. Now this is my favorite. How are you going with the green shakes?
Look, some days I have it with water. I'm not adding anything to it. I'm either having it with water or I'm actually having it with milk, just full cream milk.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I'm not using it with a meal replacement because I know it's actually not that. And I've even had days I've gone, oops, got to have that today. But I haven't felt like I've needed it. I just, I don't know. I feel like my body's really kind of settling.
Yeah. The wonderful thing I love about the green, because this is my favorite now. I've done, because I've done intermittent fasting for so long now, I like to break my fast with a protein shake. I just find it easier for me because I like to break it about 11 o'clock, so I keep on working. The thing I love about the green shakes, not only provides you with 15 grams of protein, but also contains spirulina, chlorella, beet juice, wheatgrass powder, and many other, pea protein. It's pea protein. Now, the chlorella and spirulina are actually complete proteins and providing you with really good green antioxidants. Jerry and I were unwell earlier on this year with that, and we lived on these. And I've got to tell you, I think that's what got us over the virus so quickly, was this, because we were still getting our good antioxidant levels. We couldn't eat very much, but I add raw cacao to it, full of magnesium. Love it because it tastes like a chocolate milkshake. I think I'm having Cocoa Pops for breakfast. But I love it, as I said, because it's probably one of the best protein powders I've ever had.
Yeah, look, I'd have to say I actually attribute that to a lot of my energy as well because of the protein part.
Yeah.
Gives you that protein just gives you that energy.
That's right. Yeah. And as we age, of course, we actually need more protein. So up to about 60, even higher, 60 grams of protein a day. And people were very frightened of protein many years ago. It was like, don't have too much protein. You need, more blah, 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 whatever it was, fat. But the research now shows as women, especially as they go through menopause,
Absolutely.
they need more protein because our body doesn't process it as well as when we were younger. So not only the 15 grams of protein here, but then also ensure that you're taking protein at least 3 times a day and try and get up to that 60 grams. I think it's 1.1 gram per kilogram body weight, if I'm off the top of my head.
Okay.
And because this is, to me, this is the game. We've been taking Y-Span. We've been taking Y-Span, Jerry and I, for probably 4 months now, and 1 month because they couldn't get it out of the US because of the dramas at the LAX airport. We couldn't get it. Well,
that's a scary thought.
Jerry said, "Don't you ever let me run out of this again." He could really feel it. It supplies a really lovely energy level all day long. sleep is better, but it's also the most advanced anti-aging supplement.
My skin has completely changed using this stuff. I just love it.
Really?
Yep. Yes,
Fantastic.
definitely. And it's smoother. And
Yeah.
softer. Yes, I do. I really do.
Yeah,
like
that's
huge.
I do. I just love it. We'll never run out of it again. I could really feel the difference when we couldn't get it. I could really feel the difference. Now, all of this is part of.
It's all changing us at that gene level.
That's exactly right.
Or the age lock.
To me, this is all about aging well.
Yes.
You know, we've just been through a situation where, and I'm sure many people on this call have been through it too, where we've had to put my father into aged care, and watching that his health decline so quickly made me really determined. It doesn't matter how long you live for; it's the quality of that life. I still want to be doing what I'm doing now when into my 90s, and it's quite possible the way that this program is put together that you can do that, because it's that quality. You know, like. I wake up in the morning, I'm an early riser, I'm up at 4:30, 4:45, especially right now because it's light. And I used to, before this, need a little power nap around about 12 o'clock. I just don't anymore. I just don't. And it's not like I have to think about it. Oh, I don't need a nap today. It's just I forget. Whereas before this lifespan in particular and fit and control, I'd be like, you know, 12 o'clock. Just need a little 20-minute nap. Don't need that anymore. I'm up every morning.
And then you find you reach for caffeine and stuff as well then, because you think you need that extra.
Yeah. I see I'm not a caffeine person. So, see, now, which interesting enough, when I had glandular fever, that's where it stopped. I became super sensitive to caffeine. Interesting. I try to again one day and see how I go. Actually, I'm okay without it. I wake up talking. If I was on caffeine,
you don't need it.
I would be, I get Jerry to come for a walk with me on a Saturday morning, because we walk to a coffee shop. So I get him up. Come on, come for me. We'll go for coffee. And I'm like, and he never responds until he's had that first sip of coffee, and then he'll respond to me. I don't get that. I don't get that. Now, so all those, this is the TR90 program. All those supplements are phenomenal for 90 days. And the beautiful thing about the TR90 is it just impacts so much on your cellular health, your brain health, metabolic health, skin health, bone health, joint health. This supplement is what I found with this pack, Jen, and correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm finding is making it easier for people to make the right decisions about the food they want to eat.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so it's like because you feel good, it's not a drama.
And your cravings are reduced.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's the key. And I know for people when they want to release weight, that's the biggest issue, because you're tired in the first little while. You're not seeing results. But if you feel good, you're like one of the gals was telling me today, she was moving rocks around the garden 50 rocks around the garden on the weekend, and she went, oh my gosh, I've been able to do that for ages. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So that's what it's doing. That's what these supplements combine. They're all combined to do. What they'll do is help you get that energy level. Now, here's a bonus. Free on this 90-day plan is our Bio Ginkgo, which is promotion of normal, healthy concentration, which that's what you're talking about there, Jen. Healthy memory and concentration, and promotion of circulation. Again, that promotion of circulation is going to give you the energy that you need.
And that memory thing for me is really big. So Alzheimer's is fairly rife in my family. So I am also, so I think that helps incredibly with it. But I'm also doing the intermittent fasting. So I'm doing the 16/8.
Yeah.
Which I've never really had a problem with anyway, because I'm not a breakfast person. And I never have been either. I find if I have breakfast in the morning, makes me hungry. So if I had breakfast in the morning by about 10:30, I need something else.
Yes.
I've just never been a breakfast person.
No.
So intermittent fasting's been pretty good for me. I'm really enjoying it, and the Alzheimer's thing. So
yeah, I think it's rife in my family too. Boy, that the intermittent fasting for the correct the autophagy, strength training, cutting down on inflammation, because as we know they call Alzheimer's now type 3 diabetes. So it really is impacting on that gut health. So it's like at this age, in order to stay healthy, it's not just about weight, because if you put your health first, the weight will naturally adjust.
absolutely, that just makes sense.
Yeah, it's so critical, because when you feel good, when you have energy and you're feeling alive and you're feeling focused and you're feeling confident, what you don't want to overeat.
No,
You just
no.
don't, because you don't want to put junk in your body, because you just don't.
Sometimes when it gets to that point in the day where you want to stop,
Yeah.
you want to eat because you've stopped, because you don't have the energy to keep
Yes.
going. So then you want to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And then, if you're feeling tired, you'll always reach for carbohydrate, usually simple carbohydrate.
Yeah.
And so those impact on your blood sugar level, and we start all over again. What I've found with the TR90 is that you don't have that lull. It's an adjustment, but this supports the adjustment. Now, part of I shared before, that it all comes together in a 90-day plan. At top of all that is a membership to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter online program, which is normally $89 a month, and that's got workouts and tapping and intermittent fasting, the 10 principles of wellness, everything to keep you on track. We have a secret Facebook group. I'm talking to people every single day to make sure that we're straight, because we're as we're going through this with the supplements, we're looking at what their body needs, what they need to do. Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting enough sleep? We spend a lot of time on sleep in the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program, because to me that's key in helping.
That's your regeneration, your rejuvenation time.
Absolutely. And so, as I mentioned before, so many women our age, that we're so used to that light sleeping. And we look at your sleep chronotypes and how your sleep chronotype actually impacts on that. So if you are interested in having a chat with me to see if this is a fit for you, I've opened up my diary and we have click on the link and have a chat. Let me see if this is a fit for you. It might be not for you. It might be something that's not interested in, but you won't know until you have a chat with me. And then I can share with you how it would work specifically for you. One of the things I do is look at workouts. So, I create the workouts. You can do they're all 9 minutes to do from home based on strength. But we look at things like, how are your shoulders? You've got issues with your knees, issues with hip, and walk through that with you to ensure that you're getting those good workouts. We look at your lifestyle, making sure that your lifestyle is where are we going? Making sure that your lifestyle works with this. So, Jen, you're an absolute walking advertisement for this, because I've seen you in 2 weeks. It's been phenomenal. 3 weeks now. It's only 3 weeks, isn't it? 15 days.
15 days I'm at. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been great. And my liver thanks me. The 3 a.m. stuff, that's nasty.
I know. And, even though I'm not one for getting rid of anything, I'm a great believer that everything exists in order for us to, enjoy life. The thing with alcohol is that it slows the whole process down. What we call fat sparing. So if you drink alcohol at night and don't follow the rule of 1 glass of wine, 1 glass of water, 1 hour before bed, your liver is working overtime, and it will always process the alcohol first and process sugar first before it gets to fat. So, and as I said before, I mean, this is why intermittent fasting, strength training, increasing protein, water, and the supplementation all works together.
Yeah.
So
and,
it's not
and I have
about...
to say that even though that sounds like a lot, it's actually not. And even the exercise for people who are not used to doing a whole lot of exercise, you don't have to do too much. Like, you've just got to do something every day. And I'll be completely honest, my first week I'm doing this. Last week it was like, I let that one slip just a little. And I don't even have a really good excuse for that one whatsoever. I just did. But anyway, I picked it back up again this week. So
well, I mean, that to me, that's why I created the 9-minute workouts. Now, we were in Melbourne last week, and I couldn't take my weights. So instead, I just used bands, and I got from Kmart for $15. I could do it in my sister's living room. I mean, that's why it's so simple. And we were in Melbourne; it was too freaking freezing to go for a walk. God, it was cold. 5 degrees in the morning. But we managed to keep everything on track just by the 9-minute workouts with the bands, doing some stretching, some push-ups, against the wall, whatever. It's all so simple. I have to say, though, just before as we're finishing, though, because we were away, we were 2 weeks down there, and it's difficult to do intermittent fasting because we were traveling down to my father's house to clean his house out, blah, 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 grabbing food because we were tired and probably
on the go. Yeah.
I really noticed the difference with my sleep. So the thing I noticed, number one thing was sleep. And it literally was because the body was trying to process the foods I wouldn't normally eat. And which is a really good for me telling thing, that if you're doing that and you intermittent fasting and you're drinking lots of water and you're exercising and you're blah 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 blah, the body naturally adapts. You step out of that, and just that thing, like we had chips for lunch one day. I've never had chips in a million years. Chips for lunch because we were starving, and my sleep was really impacted. So that's what this program is all about. Not only supporting you with good supplements, but giving you the ability to make a decision about how you want to feel.
Yep. It's like a reset.
It is. And it's simple. No restriction, no calorie restriction, none of that. You think, you know what? Those chips did not feel good. I'm not going to do it again. I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Loved them while I was eating them.
Totally. Yeah. That would have been really tasty. I can taste them already. Yeah. I know my body doesn't deal with gluten, so
no. And these that's the thing. Okay. So my body doesn't cope with gluten. Okay. Well, it's okay. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel bloated. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. It's choice. Yeah. It's always choice. All right. That's it from. Thank you, Jen, for joining me tonight. We've gone over time. Jen said, how long to? I said 20 minutes. Here we go, 45. And
you remember what I said? 20 minutes. Okay, so about an hour.
So start talking about this topic. I can't stop. If you want to reach out to me, just click on that link in the comments, Stronger, Leaner, Lighter information, and set up for a quick 20-minute chat with me to see if this is right for you. And thank you, Jen, for being on the call. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to seeing you next week on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. See you there. Bye.
Bye.